Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with another edition of Down with the Sickness. This is episode number 3. It is a video series that is dedicated to the painting as well as building of our Chaos Legion of Nurgle. And as you can see in this video clip, in this overhead shot, the entire army is now fully completed and painted up and ready to go. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the progress that we made through the different portions of the armies. We're going to talk about exactly what the design scheme was to creating these guys, as well as the different miniatures that we've made in order to fill up this army. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this video on the roll. Alright, so the last time we worked on this video series, we talked about the core choices, which is the Tallyman, led by Barnabas the Scrivener, my Herald of Nurgle, and 39 Plague Bearers of Nurgle. We also talked about the Dustman, which is a unit of 20 Chaos Warriors marked Nurgle. We talked about the Cardinal of Carrion, which is also used as proxy for Festus the Empowered. That's our characters on a Paladin of Nurgle. We talked about Haster, the King in Yellow, our Nibun Prince of Nurgle. We talked about the Inglorious, as well as the Ruination, which is basically our 2 3-man units of Nurglings. We also talked about Horticola Slimex and Mulch, which is our proxy that we're using for our War Shrine of Chaos. And so we talked about all those guys. The last units that we have, of course, are over here on the left-hand side. These guys are the Droning Horrors. They're 3 Plague Drones of Nurgle. And the last one, of course, is the Ruination of Prague, which is another unit of 3 Plague Drones of Nurgle. So let's go and talk about how these guys got painted up real quick. As you can see, we went kind of like a typical painted look that we did for our Plague Bearers. We have did exactly the same thing for the Riders. We used olive drab paint that we used from Rust-Oleum. We dry brushed in the Kiwi. We used rust and all those different effects. We used our homemade Blood for the Blood God effect, as well as our homemade Nurgle's Rot alternative. Exactly the same technique we used to paint up our Plague Bearers. We use that for the Riders as well. And as you can see on the Plague Drones, we also did the same kind of technique for the flesh of the Plague Drones as well. Now the carapace, which is the shell that makes up the exoskeleton of these Plague Drones, we painted straight black is what we did. And then what we did is we dry brushed them with a thin layer of mint green made by Apple Barrel paint. So you get this kind of greenish, kind of sickly color for the exoskeletons. And the wings we then painted with regular Concord Great Purple, made by Apple Barrel paint, and then we dry brushed them with Lilac Mist, also made by Apple Barrel paint as well. And then of course, after we got done painting up the units, we then oil washed it with a combination of 2 parts paint thinner with 1 part polyacrylic, made by polyshade, made by Minwax for a quick paint method. So that way we don't have to worry about spending a lot of money on buying Army Painter's Strong Tone. And as you can see, it came out really, really cool. We got the little boggy, kind of swampy bases that we have for these guys as well. And then over here, we did exactly the same technique with the other 3 Plague Drones that we also have. Exactly the same technique was went to paint these guys as well. We did this so that way we have 2 units of 3 Plague Drones, so that way you can see how they're a little bit different. As you can see, the wings on these ones, they're kind of turned inward. So make a look at they're flapping up and down. As you can see that. And then these 3, the wings are turned outwards, so that way you can see it look like they're a little bit wider than they're supposed to look, so that way you can see the difference between the 2 units. So very, very excited the way that our 2 Plague Drone units came out for this one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and there you go. There you have it. This is our Garden of Nurgle, our 3,000 point Chaos Legion of Nurgle army. It's been a long road to paint these guys up. If I had to take a guess at how long it took, if I took all the time to add together, I would say anywhere between 7 to 8 weeks, so maybe 2 months, roughly 2 months of work if I add all the time back to back. I actually had a little bit of a hiatus there in the middle of it where I had to take a break from painting these guys up. After I got done a bulk of my army, I had to take about a 2-week break because I was sick and I had some other things that I had to take care of in my personal life, so I didn't get a chance to work on these guys. So because of that, it took a little bit longer than I initially planned. Originally, I was hoping to go for a month on these guys, but it being 2 months because of that 2-month delay. But if I was at the time it took me to paint everything up, like I said, about 7 to 8 weeks of work done total for these guys. Really happy the way that this came out. This army looks really fantastic, as well as all nurgly and rotty and bloody and gory and everything else like that. And this is utterly disgusting looking, which is pretty awesome. So I'm really excited to go about fielding the full army on this one. So yeah, that's good for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest greatest news about our hobby. That's going to do it for this one, you guys. You guys take it easy. We'll catch you guys on the next one because we paint it before we play it. Peace out, you guys.